Hey guys, before we dive into the show, I wanted to tell you about the perfect trailer cue blueprint, which is 100% free and you can download it right now over at thetrailermusicschool.com/blueprint. Now, this blueprint will help you to completely understand the structure of trailer music, how to build tracks that will be more licensable and have more impact and capture the right people's attention. So, whenever you start writing a cue, make sure you've got this blueprint to hand and you can use it to help speed up your process, feel more confident that you've crafted a well-structured trailer cue before you send it off to that publisher or editor or supervisor. Okay, let's get into the episode. Hey guys, today I wanted to take you on a breakdown of another trailer. Now, I didn't do the music for this, but I think it's going to be quite helpful for me to start going into other trailers and breaking them down, talking about the structure, talking about the acts, talking about the instrumentation, how the composer, the editor, how it's all come together, and how you can learn from watching other trailers too. So today, the first one is going to be Marvel Studios' Secret Invasion trailer, all about Nick Fury. Now, this trailer is awesome. It's full-on dark action sound design. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and then we're going to talk about the vital statistics of this trailer.
For years, you've been avoiding Earth. But I have called for your help plenty of other times, and you've been pretty content to let those calls go straight to voicemail.
Yeah, well, this is different. How much do you know about your security detail?
What do you mean, how much do I know about him?
Fury, we gotta be very careful now.
You're in no shape for this fight that lies before us.
This is just the beginning.
This is my war alone. And I'm the last person standing between them and what they really want. And what is that?
Okay, this trailer is totally awesome, and it's, again, classic action sound design. So the trailer itself is about 1 minute 56, and it's split pretty much in thirds. You've got about 30 seconds for Act 1 with a 6-second break, so whether you call that a stop down or not. You've got another 24 seconds for Act 2 with a 4-second break in between. You've got another 29 seconds for Act 3 with a 6-second break before Act 4. Now, I'm going to start using the term Act 4 because often when I say the word outro, it confuses you when you might think I'm thinking about Act 3. If I say the word Sting, it's like, well, he's not in the show. So I'm going to use the word Act 4, Act 4, to define the section, which is normally like in advertising where you would have the sting, the final sort of hammering of the nails in the coffin right at the end when you see the logo and just before that. It's usually very short, if at all. You know, often tracks don't need to have an Act 4. The editors might cut a section out, and that may have been what's happened here. I don't know. Let's talk about Act 1. Okay, Act 1 starts with that kind of classic sub-boom kick. And Act 1 is pretty basic, and this is why I love it. It's really sort of dark, pulsing synths with the occasional really kind of classic Act 1 where you've just gone, let's strip it back to really setting the mood. And that's what we're here for Act 1. We're here to set the mood of the trailer, and this sets the mood of the trailer as dark and brooding. There isn't a huge ramp up towards the end. We start to hear some bass swells, and then we have one big bass swell into the first stop down, which would be the end of Act 1. And then you have this sort of 6-second break, which is quite a long gap, but each of those gaps, all three of them, are filled with transitions. Little risers, little rolls, little other cinematic transitions to fill the gap. So it's not just like boom, it's the end of Act 1, it's boom, it's the end of Act 2, but here comes Act 3! You know, it's ramping up into the second act. Now, the second act, the thing I really like about this is it doesn't go all in. It doesn't come in with like strings and synths. It comes in with some affected col legno where you're hitting the strings with the wood of the bow, as if it's a ticking. And that is kind of matched with these piano samples that are rising chromatically, as if a riser themselves, that are matching the col legno of the violin, matching that ticking sound. And it starts to really, really ramp up. And then on top of that, you have cinematic hits, you know, big trailer hits coming in every 4 bars, you know.
Fury, we go.
A great tool for you to take from this is we haven't heard the biggest drums yet, but we do at the end of Act 2. Da 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 da. And that brings us into the drop. Again, filled with risers, rolls, transitions to bring us back in to Act 3, which is huge. Now, the thing I love about it as well is it's not just sort of brick wall, everything is slammed. It's not happening all the time. It's going brum, brum. Now, it's really important that we think about what's happening here. One of the best tools for you is to understand that if you want stuff to sound loud, put it against stuff that's quiet. And that's exactly what they've done here. They've got this huge boom, and then they've got this ticking.
You're in no shape for this fight.
It's absolutely classic action sound design. You're basically taking the trailer bram, you're taking this idea of like huge distorted guitars, distorted brass, you're slamming it, but you're leaving space to allow the dynamics to really come through. And with each of those brams, you're throwing in massive hits, and then there's some, not many, but really subtle drum hits leading into each bram and leading out. I forgot the alarm sound that they bring in the second half of Act 3 that's like...
This is my war alone. And I'm the last person standing between them.
That starts to then double time as it gets closer and closer to the end of Act 3. It's a really simple way to bring your Act 3 to the next level. There's so much power to that it does a lot of the heavy lifting for you, especially with the ticking coming on. And then obviously we come to the end of Act 3 with some big, big hits. We have a stop down of like 6 seconds.
And what is that?
Again, it's not empty, it's not quiet. There's some transitions into Act 4, which is essentially a short iteration of Act 3. With some more things going on to make it feel like an abbreviation, like a condensed version. So my trick generally for Act 4 is if I take a small section of Act 3, is I then just chuck in loads of risers and some drum rolls to make it feel essentially like a sting with a transition. Now, when I say the word sting, it's like in advertising when you see the logo of the company and you hear like the branding. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, it's kind of like that. You could also see stings as very, very short sections of music that they would use in edits for TV shows as well. And that's what that Act 4 is. It's essentially a sting, 9 seconds long. Not a lot happening, but it's to ramp up into the logo of the movie and of the series and the logo of Disney+. And it works beautifully. So your takeaways from this. Firstly, Act 1, keep it minimal. Just allow this dark brooding to sit and to grow. Act 2, it doesn't have to be everything thrown at you in Act 2. It can be subtle and simple as long as it gives you pace. Act 3, you can still have quiet moments in Act 3. Use those to juxtapose against the loud, and it really will lift the loud into the stratosphere. And then obviously you can take part of Act 3, put it at the end after another stop down, and put it as an Act 4. A little short sting just to kind of slap everyone in the face to remind them how awesome the track is and how awesome this show is and how much you want to see it. Bosh. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one.
Amazing.